So today we've got two main jobs that we want to complete. We have got the installation of a rear view camera so I can park as well as Sam because I'm a bit crap. And secondly, we want to get rid of this bulkhead that the previous owners have installed because we don't want it. I think what we're going to plan on doing is putting in a swivel chair, maybe a single, we're not too sure yet. But right now we just want to open this space up, so let's get it. So from what I can see, the bulkhead has been installed with this centerpiece. I don't know what the plans were originally, but they have installed a shelf up at the top, which is really handy for us. We're going to keep that, but all of this MDF is going to come out, and from what I can tell, it's just held in with a bunch of screws. There doesn't seem to be anything going on at the top there, so other than a bit of tape there, I think this should come out quite easily. So just the tiniest bit more fiddly than I expected. They have put the bulkhead in, previous owners, and then put the floor in so it was wedged in, which is great I suppose in one sense, but for taking it out made it a little bit awkward. But we've got there. That's half done. We're going to save this. It's going to come in useful for something eventually, isn't it? So that bulkhead that someone had put in is out, and all of a sudden the van feels a little bit more spacious. I don't know if it captures it on the camera or not. It's a good identity. It's a good way for us to see also what's actually going on behind there, what sort of state the cabin is in, because we want to make a lot of changes in the front end as well. So that'll be interesting. As you can see, what they've done is put a shelf in, like a storage shelf, above the cabin, which we really like. But what we're going to have to do now that we took the bulkhead out is figure out what we're going to cover all this up with. So maybe it'll just be a case of cutting off the top half of the old bulkhead that we've just took out, sticking that back in. Not sure yet. We'll figure that out though. So Sam is at an appointment at the minute. She'll be back shortly, and in the meantime I'm going to talk you through what we have bought in terms of this reverse camera. So we have gone with, let me show you, I will provide links for as much as I possibly can. We've gone with the Pelsee, I think it's V12 Pro. Is it V12? P12. The Pelsee P12 Pro. Again, I'll provide links as much as possible. So we went with this because of the reviews. It was a decent price point. There are cheaper ones, but some of the reviews were very mixed. There are more expensive ones, which are out of our budget. This seemed to be middle ground for us, and it hit all the right features that we were looking for. So this is going to go up here. It acts as a mirror. Obviously, we can't see through the back. There is a front pointing camera. There is also a rear camera that we will attach at the back that plugs in. Also comes with GPS and a load of other features, security features, which we'll talk about in a few minutes when I get it all wired up. So in this kit comes obviously the mirror, the hardware. It also comes with a load of attachment bits and a little what they called crowbar thing for getting bits of plastic off in the cab, which will come in handy. It comes with the little camera, obviously, for the back. That just attaches onto the outside of the van wherever you want, and then it points in multiple directions. I think if my memory serves, that is 170 degrees view angle, so that'll come in handy, especially for the state of my parking. What else? What else? We have got the little GPS unit that plugs into the top. That just goes and sits on the dash somewhere and plugs into the mirror. All these cables I want hidden, because what it did come with also for the power input was one of those little ones that plug into your lighter, and I don't want that. I don't want this wire coming from down here all the way up and plugging in. So this is where you have to order a couple of extra bits. So the first bit that I ordered was an attachment to go onto the actual glass, which comes in two parts. That just slides onto the glass, that slides onto there. Hopefully you can see what I'm doing. And then that will act as like a fake rear view mirror, which the new camera mirror will clip onto. The second thing I needed to buy was an extension cable. A massive extension cable. I think that is 10 meters, because obviously these kits, these mirror kits, are made for the wires that are provided are generally provided for the length of a normal car. We're in a big assed van, and so there isn't enough cable for the rear view camera, sorry, to get to the back. So that's an extension cable. I think that was like £10–15, so not too bad. Plugs into the already existing cable that comes with the camera, and the red wire there, which I'll show you in a little bit, hooks up to the hooks up to the reverse light, so that when you go into reverse in your gears, the camera flicks on. And the last bit of kit I had to buy as extra was a hardware kit. So this comes with 3 wires. One attaches to the van itself as like an earth, one attaches to a fuse that is constantly on for power, and one attaches to a fuse that comes on when you turn the ignition on for all the different functions that are built into the camera box itself. That also comes with all the correct fuse attachments. Hopefully the light is picking that up. All the correct fuse attachments that you need. So in theory, this is quite easy. We put everything up here, we route the cables around to a power source, route one cable going to the back for the camera, and everything plugs in and works fantastically. Samantha is back! So I've been out and bought a multimeter, and now we have to figure out which fuses are on all the time and which fuses are on when we turn the vehicle on. We think, don't we, that we have enough space using under here, which is going to make our life a lot easier.
Yeah.
Rather than trying to get it from under the chair and try to figure out a route around to the thing, which I don't think I've actually got enough cable for. So we hope that we can use a couple in here, and then we can put the wires underneath, up through this pillar and overhead, and then out to the camera up there. We pray.
We pray.
Basically, this is going to piggyback from that terminal. So the fuse that we take out and choose to use will go into that slot there, and that goes into the original slot.
Yeah, the original slot. Yeah.
Of the fuse thing, and hopefully it all fits and we can cover it up and there's no problems. So what we'll do is wire it up before we start putting in the cables. We'll wire it up, make sure all the kit actually works and we don't blow up, and then we'll put it in properly.
Okay.
What we do is connect this black end to some bare metal on the van, which will ground it, and then we can test with the live which fuse is actually working without the engine being turned on. So
or without blowing up.
No, we won't blow up. So there's some bare metal under here, which is handy. We can put this in the fuse. Can you see under there?
Can't see anything. I'm going to come round. Right, so we're going to use the black one to ground it.
There's some bare metal underneath there. So we just touch that.
And then the red one should actually
we can just put the red
test
one
it
inside each of these. I'm going to go from the bottom because I think there's a little bit more clearance from that cover. So if we can find one near the bottom, that would be handy. So if we touch that and then look at the multimeter, there's nothing showing. So there's an out there. So if we go up one to the next fuse, something there. Get it in properly. What it was? What have I done wrong? Oh, there we go. No.
It's going down almost. It's almost registering it and then
coming on and then dropping off for some reason. Oh.
What are you doing?
I've not pressed DC. That's what it is. What an idiot.
Oh yeah, you had to press DC, didn't you?
I've got to select DC because we're on a bloody car. Right. Let's try this again.
Okay.
Idiot. Right. Back to the bare metal on the black and then test. There we go. We're working. Right. So there's some voltage
Around
there.
about 12 volts. We said that though, didn't
Yeah,
we?
some voltage there. Test the next one. There's voltage there. So those two are working without the car being turned on.
Perfect.
Test the next one up. And there's nothing there. So hopefully, if we turn the car on now, if you would like to do the honours,
Yes.
that should. There we go. Look. Do you see that multimeter?
Yeah.
Now that the car's turned on, the ignition's on, and it's using the battery, then there's power.
So it's actually working there now.
So we should, in theory, be able to use those two fuses down there, that one, and that one, if you can see.
Yeah.
And we'll hook up the camera and see what happens.
So we're now trying to work out whether or not there is a closer point that Andy can ground the camera to, the black wire.
There is.
So currently he's managed to find somewhere, which is good. And then we'll be able to plug it in and ground it, fingers crossed. The original ground, which we were going to use, was up here. But Andy's found somewhere that's closer. However, I need to remove this out of the way, so that's what he's going to do next. I did do that right though, didn't I?
I think so. Yeah, you had it right. So put that back where that was.
We're going to have it up.
So Sam's just finishing off the last bit of wiring for the test fit. We haven't obviously...
Is that going to be alright there?
I think so.
Yeah, it can just tuck, can't it? Okay, right, so those
so
two are in.
if you join them, last two now, it's like that's it. You have to push quite
And let's
firmly.
hope I don't blow up. Yep.
I don't think we should. Very firmly in.
Yep, firmly in.
Right. So we can now plug the camera in. The little unit here.
Want to plug it in?
Yeah, go for it, because I'm trying to hold the camera.
Okay. So I'm going to plug this in here.
Now the
Like
engine is
so.
not on, but
However,
I don't think that should matter. Give it a minute. Okay, that's not come on yet, so turn the engine on.
turn the engine on.
I think you can actually just use...
Oh, it's come on now.
Oh, it's come on.
Yeah.
Leave
Come
the turn the engine off, but put the ignition on. Is the ignition still on?
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know if it is on. It's hard to... Oh!
Ooh,
It
we
is.
have power. We
have
have a noise.
power.
We have a noise.
Amazing.
Right, so something's happening there, which means we're not dead, there's no fire, and the
It's
unit
working.
works.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's get it all hidden
Amazing.
away.
Great.
It comes with a GPS unit, and I was just saying to Sam that the GPS unit, I don't know if you can see, comes with a little sticky back plastic thing that you can stick to something. It doesn't say in the instructions, but in my estimate, I would have stuck that to the glass, because that just makes
It's
sense
sticky.
in my head. I don't know about you.
So what did they say?
Apparently online, somebody said that the GPS sign needs to be pointing up to the sky.
So where does that sticky pad need to go? The back of the...
Well, it should, if they are right, then we'd stick
Oh,
it to
stick
the
it to the
dashboard
dashboard.
somewhere, and then
Right,
route the
okay.
wires that way. So I think we stick it to the dashboard first, see if it works.
Oh.
If it doesn't work, then we'll just flip it around and stick it to the glass.
That's very well, but I want to spray paint this dashboard, so...
Well, it's only, it's only sticky tape. We can take it off and redo it.
Well, can we not just not stick it down? For
Yeah,
now?
Yeah.
Just have it facing up, just so we know it works.
Yeah. Doesn't make any difference, does it?
That makes more sense, doesn't it?
It's a better idea.
It's a better idea.
Don't make a habit of that.
Oh, funny.
Okay.
Right, this is done. I have screwed this together that Andy's bought. And the idea is that this is going to be attached to the window, and then the screen will sit beautifully. However, when I've put these brackets on, Andy said that this is made to go over an original rear view mirror. But we don't have a rear view mirror. So this would go on like so, but then there's room to give, which means it's just going to fall off. So now we're trying to work out whether or not we just glue it on, or whether we go back and find something a bit thicker, or buy a rear view mirror and slot this over. But the idea was that, like Andy said, it wanted to be
a bit cleaner looking.
A bit clean looking, a bit like it's a part of the van rather than being an add-on to the van. So yeah,
We'll come up with something.
problem number 43.
Samantha has just hit her head on the shelf here. It's our first accident in the van.
Honest to God.
There was some swearing.
That fucker's gonna bruise.
Sorry. Okay, there's more swearing. We're going to get banned from YouTube. Samantha has very cleverly managed to fit all 3 cables for the mirror, hidden everything in the headliner, down the arm, underneath, into the fuses there. The 3rd cable is there. If I can just add a little more light there, which is for the rear view camera, sorry, which will get hooked up along the back, and then we just need to figure out where the camera is going to fit on the outside of the van, and then with any luck I'm hoping we can use the same hole that the light out there is using.
Are you unpeeling it?
Do you want to do the honours?
We never unpeel shit.
I know, but I want to test it.
I don't like...
Go on.
Oh, I don't like unpeeling stuff.
Go on, do it. That's satisfying. Come on.
I know, but it's never going to look that shiny ever again.
Oh, it's actually a mirror. I didn't realise it was actually a mirror. All right, we're going to do one last test. We'll take the peel off the back camera.
Really upset me.
Because we need to make sure it works.
Oh, yeah.
Otherwise, you know. Last test. Right. We still need to figure out this clip situation, but we'll get there. Okay, that's that. That's that. Power, hopefully everything works.
Little cable tie come out.
Little cable tie falling out the top. Woo!
Hey. Woohoo!
Now,
oh,
please
wow!
format SD card, the video can't be recorded. Now we should... Oh, that's going to take a minute. I probably should have done that later. Oh, that was quick. Okay, so we should... That's the front camera, obviously. Yep. I have temporarily pinned up the back camera. I have no idea how to actually get to the back camera. Did I take the seal off the back camera? That might explain why it's black. Yeah, maybe pin the camera down for a second because my arm's hurting now, and then go and check if I've took the seal off the back camera.
It's not. It's on the floor. That's why.
Oh, that's why then. It had fallen on the floor. That's why it doesn't work. Okay, so lean it up against something. That's upside down.
Is it?
Oh, the picture quality is very good. Okay, so just to test how it looks, can you see?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know how this works yet because we haven't read anything, but that is the back camera.
Amazing.
Working. We can see behind us. Dual cameras.
Split.
I need to read. What? It said something. We need to read how to actually use this thing, but all in all, something is working, and that is a good day's work.
Did you take a picture?
Have I?
No, can you take a picture?
I don't know. My arm's killing me, babe. I've got to put this thing down. Okay. Let's figure out the back camera.
Okay.
Hello there. So we have got. Let me get down. Oh, you still can't see me. Doesn't matter. I have taped the camera in sort of a rough place of where we want it. There is a light already here with a little, what they call them, glands for this cable. I was hoping we could have used that, but there is zero space inside there, which means I'm going to have to drill through the van. I didn't want to, but has to be done. So I'm thinking I'm just going to go right behind the camera, where the camera's going to go, feed this through, put a grommet in there, put a little bit of sealant in there, extra protection, feed this through, and then we'll do the connection on the inside and run the wires where we need them to go. Let's do it. Right, I've drilled the hole, filed it down a little bit. I'm just going to put in a little bit of hammerite, and then I'm going to put in a grommet, feed the cable through, put some sealant on, extra protection, and then we'll get onto the inside. Okay, so we've got the camera on, a bit of tape just temporarily holding that in place. The grommet is in after a long-standing battle. I have wasted about 4 grommets to try to get this little bad boy in. We're going to go in the van, wire it up, and then after we've decided how much slack we need, if any at all, we will put some sealant in there and on the inside as well, and that'll be job done. So above the back door we have this hole that the previous owners have put in because they've got the cable for the light coming through there. I've just put some tape over that just to protect the cables from the sharp edges of the metal. These cables here are from my camera that I've just put in. I've just temporarily taped these to the beam because we don't yet know what we're going to cover this beam in, whether it's going to be carpeted or something, so we'll figure that out later. But for the time being, we're just going to run this along here. This red wire, by the way, is to connect to the reverse lights, so that when you put the when you put the car into reverse, the camera automatically flips on. However, even with the extension kit, this reverse cable is not very long. So what I'm going to have to do is just add another cable onto that, run that down to the lights there, find the reverse light cable and splice into that. So luckily I had a bit of spare cable knocking about that I can use as an extension for the reverse light cable. So I've just taped it down. I've connected it using butt connectors and some heat shrink wrap, which I'm going to do the same when we connect into this, so I'll show you that in a second. Luckily there was a little hole here, don't know what for or why, but I've put a grommet in there, fed that through, and that comes out into this little light section here. So I'm going to connect, well, I've got to find the wire first, connect the 2 wires together, and then all that can go in, and that is job done. First though, have to figure out which one of these wires is the reverse light, so I'm going to need some help from Sam and some help from our little multimeter that we got. Sam, what's going on?
Right, so we have, can you get my Christmas pants in? Christmas pants! So we're testing the lights on the back because Andy's trying to fit the back camera. However, we've come across the fact that the lights aren't working at the back, so whenever we put it into reverse, it's not coming on. The other lights seem to be working, however the reverse light isn't. So I'm going to take this off, and it is number 4, fuse 4.
I think so, yeah.
So we're going to look at fuse 4 and see if we can fix it.
So a full week has gone by, which is annoying considering all we were doing is fitting a bloody camera, but we needed to wait for this, which has now arrived. Hopefully in this box is the reverse light switch. All that box, just for that. All that, just for that. What's that about? Anyway. This is a reverse light switch. Hopefully I have ordered the right one and the right size. The reverse light switch, I have learnt, is engaged when the van goes into reverse. This sends the power to the reverse lights. This is located, is this in focus? I don't know. This is located underneath the car, next to the gearbox. So I'll get under there with the camera so you can see what's going on, and then if this breaks on yours, you'll know what's happening. Okay, I'm hoping you can see what's going on under here. I'm under the car. That's the front of the engine. This is the gearbox. This little bad boy here is the reverse light switch. That's the bit that we've ordered. This is the bit that we unscrew, and I might be able to do it by hand. Maybe, yes. So, oh, I think that's actually broken off. Maybe that's why it's not working, look. So I might need to pull that out. We're going to unbolt that and then put the new one in. You need to get a spanner, and I don't think I've got any room to hold this camera at the same time, so I'll get back to you. Right, so with a lot of force and a bit of pain in my hand, we have loosened it, and it should just hopefully pop out. Reverse lights. Fantastic. Right, so now that's working, we can take the back off the lights. I've tested it with a multimeter once again, so I now know that it is the red and, is it white in there? Red and white wire is for the reverse light. So that's what we're going to tap into for the camera. This just pops off that direction and clips there, and off that comes. So what we're going to do is cut into that red and white wire, which we know is for the reverse lights, put a butt connector on that end, and then we're going to connect the other end plus the new cable for the camera into the other end of the butt connector, and that should do everything we need it to do. And that's much better. Right, what I've done, I was struggling to get those two wires into that little red crimp connector, so I've used a bigger one and they are solid now. So we're going to take that red one off and use the blue one instead. And hopefully that is a nice solid connection. It is. So before we put anything back in, let's plug it in, turn it all on and see if it actually works when I put the van into reverse. Okay, we can see the camera is on, and it's on the reverse camera because I've got it set there. So let's put it on the front one, and then when I put the cabin to reverse, it should come on, and it does, and it's even got some posh lines. Look at that. We can have a play with that now. One of the things I really like about this camera is effectively, get this out of the way, the picture of the actual the picture that the camera is taking is like that big. Obviously, because this mirror is only this narrow, you're not seeing the full thing. But what you can do is just swipe to your desired height. So on the reverse camera, for example, if you want to see further back, you can swipe it all the way up. But if you want to see further down, so that when you're reversing, you can see where it's closest to the van, you just swipe down, and the camera moves down. And I think that's absolutely fantastic, because that's perfect for driving, and then when you want to reverse, quick swipe and it's done. So that is it, guys. We are job done. We have a camera, it is working. I put the car in reverse, that's working. Happy days. Sam is at a hen do this weekend, so she can't be here to close the video with me. That's just how it's going to be, because you know this project is going to take a long time. We're working full time, we only do weekends on the van, so sometimes it's going to be her, sometimes it's going to be me. But that is a job done, and I'm very happy with myself, I'm going to admit. I think next job is tackling either these seats or this cabin area, because we want to make this a very comfortable place to sit, especially if we're going to be spending hours at a time driving around in it. So we'll be taking a look at that next. Don't forget to subscribe. If you've got any comments, please get in touch. I want to hear all about whatever you've got to say.